Well, welcome to Pastor's Q&A. We have a question that came to us from an 11-year-old, and the question is this. I pray every night before bed. I say what I'm thankful for and my request for the next day. Is there a better way I should pray? What an excellent question. How would you best answer this one?
Yeah, I think that's an awesome question. One of the best things that we can do, because you see the disciples do it, is asking Jesus how
Yeah.
to pray better. And so, excellent question from an 11-year-old. And what I wanted to share is from the book of Luke, chapter 2. And I wanted to share this because this is how I pray for my kids every day, every night. This is one of the things that I try to include in my prayers when I'm putting my kids to bed. And so it's an excellent way for parents to pray, and it's also an excellent way for kids to pray as well. And so this is one of the few things that we have about Jesus in his childhood. And so after Jesus is found at the temple, remember he gets lost. His parents leave on the caravan, have to go back and find him. And then at the very end of Luke chapter 2, this is what it says. It says, "And Jesus increased in wisdom and in stature and in favor with God and man." And so those are four requests that I find myself using as sort of a springboard or a launch pad for going into some different categories of prayer for my kids. And so the four things are: number one, wisdom, and number two, stature. And so I think about this as referring to the mind and referring to the body. And so praying for healthy growth in school, healthy learning as we homeschool our kids. And so that homeschool process would go well, that they would enjoy it, that they would grow in wisdom, and not just in academic learning, but in life wisdom, in maturity, that they would grow in emotional maturity, that they would grow in spiritual maturity.
Yeah.
And then the second one, in stature, that physically that they would be healthy, that they would be strong, that they would eat their vegetables, things like that. And so you can include a lot of things physically for them in stature, praying for physical protection and development.
Yeah, and on that, even like not just what's coming in, but they're developing, right? Their
Yes,
brains
exactly,
are developing, their bodies are developing. So praying,
That's right.
help all those things to go just as they ought to go.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and then the last two are two different categories: in favor with God and with man. And so we want our kids, and if you are a kid, we want you to have a healthy relationship with God and a healthy relationship with people. And this reminds me of the greatest commandment, right? Love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love your neighbor as yourself. And so we want to pray that that is true in the lives of our kids. And if you are a kid, we want to pray or we want you to pray that that's true for you as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and answering the question of, because you might have the question, it's like, okay, well, what does a good relationship with Jesus look like that I'm praying for?
Yeah.
Because I can just make that request, but if you want to get more, put more meat to it, using the Lord's Prayer as a guide. Because in the Lord's Prayer you see a variety of requests. The first three are, would your name, God, your name be holy. Would the second, would your kingdom come and your will be done. And so, understanding, I want to have a better relationship with Jesus, praying things like, Lord, help me to, in my life, in the way that I understand you, in the way that I relate to you, in the way that I talk to my friends about you, help me to honor you and treat you as holy, treat your name well, to honor all who you are. Lord, may your kingdom come. That is to say, your righteousness, your peace, Romans 14, your righteousness, peace, and joy, may that grow in me every day. And Lord, would your will be done? May the things that you desire, may that happen in my life? Would heaven touch earth through me? And so that's a great way. And then with the other ones, parts of the Lord's Prayer, and we just did this seminar with Dennis Fuquay, one of our elders, who, as you know, would talked at great length about this, wrote a whole book on it, and so it's a great source. But in terms of saying how can I pray better, is asking God for the things He said we ought to ask for. Give us this day our daily bread. Help me, give me everything I need, Lord, so that I might live for you well, so that I might develop well. Give me everything I need so my mind is developing well, my body. Give me healthy food, good education, and that sort of thing. And also forgiveness, Lord, help me to forgive me as I forgive others. How do I have a favor with my fellow man? Lord, and this is really important for kids, to not just say you're sorry, right? But to actually forgive and seek forgiveness, to realize, okay, I'm not just doing this to avoid a timeout or something, but I'm really recognizing I'm a sinner and I need forgiveness. I want to release that forgiveness, and then lead us, Lord, lead me, not into temptation, but deliver me from the evil one. Guide me where you want to go tomorrow.
Yeah.
So when you're going to bed, saying tomorrow, when whatever I end up doing, Lord, lead me in the places you want me to go. Give me ears to hear.
Yeah, help me
that sort of
increase in
thing.
wisdom in that way as we're
yeah.
as we're walking on the path of life.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, just one more thing that I wanted to point your attention to, something that I use with my kids. It's a devotional called "Thoughts to Make Your Heart Sing" by Sally Lloyd Jones, and she wrote the Jesus Storybook Bible. And it's one of the very few kids devotionals that I'm really even aware of, or at least that I have looked into
I've
and
come
I really
across either,
like.
yeah.
And I think there's very little attention given to the devotional lives of children. There's a lot on theological and biblical developments, catechism and teaching curriculum and all those kinds of things. But in terms of just things to help engage the hearts of our children, or if you are a kid, just something that you can read to have a time of devotion. And so I bring that up because it really is just a great, more so than a storybook Bible or something like that, it's just a great springboard for some of those prayers. It has a few little
good.
prayers in it, and it's just a very short, it takes 2 minutes to read each day. And then you can just use that to, and just say, hey, God, thank you for this truth. Help this truth to be more, to increase in my life as I seek you. And so that's been a helpful resource for our kids as we pray.
Good. And I would offer, just launching off of that idea, if you're saying, again, this question, so great, how can I pray better? A great way that I found to pray better is to have, just what you described, something I'm launching off from.
Yeah.
So even everything that we're talking about here, not just memorizing all of that and trying your best when you right before you lay your head to sleep, but to get your Bible out. Look at Mark or Matthew 6, and look at the Lord's Prayer. Look at Luke 2:52, and read it, and then pray from that, or that devotional you're referring to. Read that, and then pray from that. Actually do that when you're laying in bed. That'll help you be more on point and pray more rich prayers. That's helped me. So
Good. Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you for the question, and I hope that was a blessing to you. Catch us wherever you can find us to do more Q&As like this or other online resources. Keep on sending those questions in. We are eager to answer them. Until then, have a blessed day.